when we're doing conversions with really, really big numbers that we have to express using scientific notation, such as the mole or Avogadro's number, we need to learn how to do that using our graphing calculators because typically you're not able to do that using a phone calculator. So we need to get comfortable with that. As a quick reminder, what does this mean? This means that we need to move this decimal place 23 times over in order to get our actual number. So it's actually a really, really huge number. Remember, that's why I always joke around and say it's 6 gabajillion. So if I moved it over, it would be 6, and then I'm going to have 23 spaces after this. So 0, 2, 2, that's 3. Now I have to add 20 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 0.0, right? Or just that's what this number means. It's an extremely huge number, and this wouldn't work in your phone calculator either because your screen isn't going to be big enough. It's just not going to be able to do this calculation. So we really have no choice but to use scientific notation. And the best way to do that is to just get comfortable using our graphing calculator. There's a link to this free online graphing calculator that I strongly recommend you use. I use it all the time. I actually also have the physical calculator, but we can definitely get away with using this online one. It works just the same. So let's go ahead and set up our problem. We know that we have an equality here, so we know we're going to have be able to make a conversion factor. That's great. The problem is saying convert 5.6 moles to number of particles. And it doesn't matter moles of whatever. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. We could be talking about puppies, kittens. I mean, I don't even want to imagine having that many puppies or kittens. They wouldn't fit on this planet. But still, the point is that moles is just saying we have a certain number. It's 5.6 of this, right? 5.6 of these. So let's write our given first. By now, hopefully you're getting really comfortable with saying, all right, let's write our given down and turn that into a fraction. So I'm going to divide that just by 1, no units, because I'm not making a conversion factor here. I'm just writing down our given. We want to find out how many particles that is. So in order to do that, I want to get rid of moles. The problem wants me to end up with particles. And right now, all I have is moles. So I need a conversion factor that will have moles on the bottom and particles on top. Now, one thing you might not realize yet, but you will as you go through this, is I could be talking about atoms, molecules, whatever. So it doesn't have to ask for particles necessarily for us to use this conversion factor. It could say convert it to the number of molecules, and this conversion factor would still work. It's just trying to say things, right? So 1 mole equals 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd things. It doesn't matter what that thing is. So now we have to fill in the numbers here. So if our equality is 1 mole, then our 1 is going to go down here. And then 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd is going to go up here. So let me write that in. 6.022 times 10 raised to the 23rd power. And the next thing I need to do is go ahead and solve that. So I'm going to multiply across the top. Or actually, let me do this first. I just want to show you that sure enough, we end up canceling our moles because we have moles on the top of the fraction over here and moles on the bottom of the fraction over here. And that leaves us just with particles, which is what we want. So to solve this, I'm going to put this in my calculator, 5.6, and I'm going to multiply that by 6.022 times 10 to the 23. Now, the only tricky part of this problem is how do we actually put that number in? And it's really simple. You just have to memorize which button it is. So you're going to write the 6.022, 6.022. And then instead of writing times 10 to the, you're just going to press this EE button right here. Do you see that right here? So you're just going to press EE. And it comes up with just one little E there. Honestly, I don't even know why. It's kind of confusing, but that's what it should look like. And then you just write whatever number is in your exponent. So I'm going to write the number 23. And that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't type times 10 and then 23. You just do this E button that is right here. And then you press enter. And then we have to know how to write the answer. So on the top here, I should have I'm just going to keep the same number of decimal places. So I'll have 3.372 2, and I'm going to round that to the 2 there because the next number is a 3, which is less than 5. And now I'm going to write times 10 because that's what that E means. And the 24 is my exponent. I'm going to put an exponent of 24. And my units here are particles. In the bottom, I just end up with 1 times 1, no more units because we canceled out moles. And so my final answer is just this right here. Right, my final answer is 3.327 times 10 to the 24th particles. And you're done.